What's going on YouTube? It's James with ChiHammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and guys, I have some news for you. At the same time, I'm gonna give you guys right now round 3 of Buckeye battles. Now, really quick to give you this update. What's going on with me? Really quick. I have a tooth infection, which is pretty funny because I'm War Boss Tooth. But I have a tooth infection, and my face is swollen on one side of my face. And I'm not going to put that picture up. I do have a picture of it that's like, when I look like a freaking ginormous face on one side. But anyways, so I'm probably going to get my tooth removed in a day or two, or a couple days. So I might not get Game 5 up. I'm going to try to record as fast as I can on Game 3 and Game 4, even Game 5 if I get done, before I get my tooth removed, because then I don't know if I'm going to get it done by time before I go to Spain. Anyways, I'm hoping that if I get my tooth pulled fast enough that I'll be able to recover by the time I go to Spain, and yada yada yada. Anyways, so yeah, let's go over Game 3 real quick. Game 3, I just finished after Game 1 getting a massacre win against Mr. Anthony Carter. Game 2, I got a big win against Mr. James Valdez. In Game 3, I'm playing somebody who actually is playing a very aggressive beast herd list. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a heads up too, also. Not a heads up, but basically a bit of a spoiler of how people are doing that I've already played. Alright, let's go into Buckeye battles. Now, Anthony Carter, if you guys remember, his army was the one with the Demon Prince. He actually got a pretty good score, but he got no paint points, and that dropped him a lot. And I mean a lot did it drop him. So, if I can find him, I don't think he was at the dead bottom. No, he wasn't at the bottom. And again, Buckeye Battles is 102 players. 102? That's a lot. Where the hell is he? Motherfucker, I can't find him. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's just pick my name. And then pick him. Oh, he did. He got 81st place. But this is also, he got a couple big wins. He actually got 3 big wins, and then the 2 losses he got were off of both Team Mexico opponents. Poor Mr. Anthony Carter. Poor Mr. Anthony Carter. Anyways, that's pretty funny. He got 81st place, but that was because he has a dead 0 on paint score because he had unpainted models. Mr. James Valdez ended up finishing in 22nd place, which is pretty damn impressive, especially for a Warriors of the Dark Gods army. Now, Mr. Bob Chevernett. Chenevert. I'm gonna fuck up your last name, Bob, every time. He ended up getting 8th place overall. So, dun dun dun. Let's see how this game goes for me against Bob. Sorry, I'm just kind of rambling now. Anyways, let's go over the list of what we have, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get started into this game. This is actually a very fun game. I gotta admit, all 5 opponents I got were all awesome opponents, which is very rare for me. You know, usually you get one dickhead, just that one dickhead. You know what they always tell you? If you go in everybody has that one friend that's a dick, and if you don't know who that friend is, well, you might just be it. So maybe I was the dick in all these games. Who knows? Probably true. Anyways, let's go over really quick what I brought to the table. I got the Idol of Chicken, the Great Green Idol. He is a ginormous arsehole. He's basically a buff monster, but at the same time, he's still a monster. Over here I got the K-Pack, Koga, Kaiser, and Koenig. Basically it's my 3 wolf chariots that are in one unit together. I got my 5 wolf riders, the Raiders. I got King Koopa. King Koopa's a 1-up, 4-up Goblin King with the Obsidian Sword, Dragon Helm, and the general badassness of the King on his trusty mount, Peggy. Alright, over here I got General Zod. Zod is a 1-up, 4-up general with a Iron Orc, so he gets weapon master. He gets to pick out his great weapons or his paired weapons. He basically could do whatever he wants because he's Zod, basically. Over here I got my favorite unit, the freaking I kind of feel like I'm sounding like Lord Tremendous. My favorite pets. Anyways, I got 46 common goblins, bows, shields, 3 shady gits, the BSB, and the BSB has the War Banner and Pants Protection. Over here I got the Chicken Rock, Chicken Rock or Space Rock, goes by both names. But the Chicken Rock is racking in points right now this tournament, which is a big change for me. I've been playing her more aggressively, and it's been paying off. Not only that, but inside the cave, you can't see it, but I got 30 cave goblins in this picture. It's just a very dark picture. Then I got my 20 forest goblins with skirmish, throwing weapons, bows, banner of discipline, and the level 4 shaman pyromancer. And then I got a unit of 12 ironworks in the cave. Whew. Alright, over here, as you can see, this is that's Bob. Basically, this is how we deploy. Now, I'm going to go over his list. I don't know if I took pictures of his list specifically, but on the left, he has a group of centaurs. He has a unit of gargoyles, another unit of mongrel raiders with a level 4 soothsayer of druidism in there. He has 3 chariots. 2 of them are Pumbas. One of them is the general. He has 2 Gore-Tex. Then he has another chariot with a Pumba, another BSB chariot in there. So the characters are pretty stout. They have like 1-up armor, 4 or 5-up ward. And then he has another chariot. Now he has 4 units that are not on the table that are going to ambush. It's 4 just ambushing Wildhorn units. And basically we're playing in circles. So I got the big flanks. He got the big center. I was kind of playing it where I got the big flanks. Excuse me. I forgot who got the roll off. He drops his forest in the middle, which is that white and blue thing in the middle. And he also has, he doesn't have dark rain, but he has the dark seed or whatever it's called, which drops his forest and gives him a bonus to casting inside the forest. It's a pretty smart spot where he put the forest, because I put when I was deploying, I did this move where I knew I was going to deploy heavy on the right, but I started putting guys on the left to confuse him, to see where he wanted to put his stuff at, and kind of just go from there. So I put the dogs down on the left side, kind of saw what he was putting over there. And we're playing the flag scenario, so I know I have to kind of keep tight and keep, inside the group. What I ended up doing, though, is I ended up putting my common goblins outside the forest, because if any ambushing unit gets into them, I don't want to lose that steadfast. At the same time, I have the forest goblins right by the forest, because I'm going to take advantage of that forest if need be. And then I have my spider and the chariots on the hill on the right. That's basically where everything is. And as you can see, there's a better picture of what's on the right. I was hoping to, then also the forest goblins are kind of right by that field, so that way I could get the field ablaze if anybody goes inside the field. I could use my pyromancy. And yeah, that's kind of how it looks. It's going to go ahead and start off turn 1, beast herds. Beast herds, turn 1, Bob's herds. Bob's beast herds. Bob herds. I don't know. I'll come up with something. Anyways, he just starts moving up. He just moves up everybody up aggressively, basically, because he needs to. He's using the forest for his for terrain to block the bow shots, because the guys are butt naked. Excuse me. Magic phase, he got 8 power dice. He goes ahead and tries to do Spirit of the Woods. I stop it. Then he goes ahead and tries to do Master of Earth, and I think he just failed this one outright. And that was it. That was all his turn 1 was. He just basically moved. He had no shooting. His magic was very little. And it's going to start off Orcs and Goblins turn 1. Now, before I get to this next picture, I put Koopa on this side, and I put Koopa up as far as possible because we're playing flags. And the one flag I picked that was already on the table was his Centaur unit. The other flags, 2 of them are off the table, and we'll declare it later. Anyways, so I go ahead and I charged, or I put them here so I could just run straight at him and kill him with Koopa. I mean, these guys are only strength 3, 4, 5, something like that. I think like strength 5, roughly. And they're drunk. But he made a mistake. He ended up moving his soothsayers and mongrels into the forest close by, not realizing that Koopa's just chilling right there. So I'm gonna show you this picture. So I declare this charge with Koopa, and I'm gonna scream it out anyways because I don't give a fuck, because it's my damn channel and I always scream out Koopa. So I'm gonna give you a 5-second warning. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Koopa! You fat bastard. Koopa is declaring a charge here. This is only like a 14, so I only need like a 7. I was even contemplating calling out the Wog just so I could make sure I kill this guy right now. And he's like, shit, I'll have a charge, downhill charge, I'll kill a bunch of guys. Even if he challenges out, I'll kill the wizard. and there's nothing he really could do about it. Yeah, he'll be steadfast, or stubborn in the forest, but he's gonna lose his wizard. So he decides, which is a smart move, to flee. So he flees. He doesn't flee that far. He flees only like 5 inches. I think it takes him right behind the chariots. But here's the problem: is it actually is in range for my dogs to charge. So my dogs charge into them. And they run away, and he rolls like a 12, and he runs right off the table on turn 1. Holy shit. Holy shit. I'm like, wow, I did not expect that to go as good as it did. I was just kind of just hoping that in the next turn he just fails that rally check. I didn't think he was actually going to fall off the table this round. I was like, oh, okay, that worked. So I redirect with Koopa, and I let Koopa go for the centaurs. He decides to do stand and shoot with tomahawks. I'm like, yeah, whatever, I ain't gonna hurt shit. I got a 1-up armor, and I fail one, and he gets a wound right through on Koopa. Now I needed double 6s to get in, so I failed this charge, and that was all my charges, which kind of puts me in a good spot, because now I don't have to worry about druidism. He has a level 4 druid that's not on the table. All he has is totems left. And I kind of put my dogs in a shitty spot. I wanted to use my dogs for chaff on these Gore-Tex, but I think it's a great trade-off. I think it was a very good trade-off, getting rid of that wizard really early on. So I decided to be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. I move the spider up. Now, the spider, the only thing on the right side that could charge the spider is that chariot. And I'm like, dude, if you want to charge the chariot into the spider, I don't care. I mean, it's a T4 chariot. I get 16 attacks. I'll be able to destroy it on average. Alright, my chariots move up, so that way if he moves any closer, he's about to get rammed by the wolf pack, the K pack, and then the Crom is moving up a bit, and then the Iron Orcs and everybody else just kind of sitting back. I don't move my common goblin block at all, because all 46 shots are in range of that Gore-Tex, so all I'm trying to do is pick wounds onto that Gore-Tex. And as you can see, that's kind of how it is. I ended up turning my spider a little bit this way, figuring I would taunt him with the flank, like, go ahead, hit my flank. But at the same time, that way, if anything goes in the middle, the spider has great line of sight for everything in the middle, right? Magic phase with purple dice. I got 3. So I'm like, well, I only got 3 dice. I might as well just do the one spell that's going to make a goddamn difference. And I throw up flaming swords on this unit over here. This unit over here is going to start the shooting phase. They're going to shoot all 46 shots into that Gore-Tex. Long range through the forest, needing 6s, but that's 46 shots. And then I'll need 5s to wound, and holy shit, they just unloaded this hailfire of fire arrows going across the sky, through the forest, onto the other side, to hit that ginormous Gore-Tex, and put on 5 fucking wounds. Holy shit, you should have seen his face drop, like, oh shit, this is bad. So I'm like, well, fuck it. Let's shoot the Skull Splitter. Fuck! Kill that son of a bitch! Oh, fucking hey, man. Skull Splitter got a lucky 6. Killed that Gore-Tex. Causes no panics. Nobody cared that Bob's Gore-Tex died. Nobody cared. But this is a great start to the game. And then it's going to start off his turn. Bob's Herd's turn 2. Bob's Herd's turn 2. He's going to charge the centaurs into Koopa. And Koopa's just like, I wanted to fight you guys anyways, which I did. I mean, there's the truth to it. I just wanted to fight him. He charges these chariots into my wolf riders. I think I decided to flee, because if he charges and then overruns into my goblins, I am not in the position to fight them yet, so I flee with them. He charges the Gore-Tex, which needed like a 10 or 11 to get into Crom. I'm like, whatever, Crom. I mean, I'm hoping he fails. He only gets 2 dice. He doesn't get Swift Stride. So I just hope he fails. Actually, I think he needed double 6s. I want to say he needed double 6s. He needed an easy charge for the chariot to the spider. Like I said, I'm like, spider don't care. Spider can hold the flank, right? So this fucker gets in with a freaking double 6. And this picture came out super clear. I love it. I love this picture. So he gets in. Right? Obviously, the other guy gets into the flank. I leave Zod this way because I knew that he was going to pop up ambushers, and I didn't want him popping up right there. So he decides to pop up over there on the hill, right by the Chicken Rock and the other guys, which is fine because I got the fanatics there for a reason. But he pops up 2 units here. The 2 units that were scoring units pop up behind my common goblins, and then his mongrels popped up back there as well. So I have to deal with the scoring units, which is really the issue right now. But the way I turned Zod was basically for zone control, and I kind of did what I needed to do, which was give him less space to pop up in, which he did fine, except that I didn't expect Crom to be in a fight right now. Magic Phase, he got 6 power dice. He goes ahead and he does Bloodhorn Totem, doesn't go, does the, I can't even read that, it looks like Chubby Eye, but I don't, Clouded Eye. Chubby Eye. Anyways, it doesn't go off. Then he does the Gnarled Hide. It doesn't go off. Over here, Shooting Phase is going to shoot these mongrels into my wolves, trying to kill some wolves. Kills 2. Over here, these guys just start throwing tomahawks into my freaking common goblins. They end up killing off a couple, maybe 1 or 2. I don't remember. These guys pop up and they end up killing off a couple of my forest goblins. Even though I'm in the forest, skirmishers. He's doing multi-shot. He got 3 on here, but he barely killed any of my common goblins. It makes no sense whatsoever. Just good dice rolls. Over here, he starts shooting into my cave goblins. Does 1 wound, and then we're going to start into close combat. In close combat, boom! Holy crap! I'm just going to show you this picture. I mean, I guess I kind of spoiled it already. He goes in. He hits that lethal strike. He does multi-wounds. He does 2 wounds onto Crom. Crom goes back, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to do a crush attack. Crush attack! Boom! Hits, does 3 wounds. He's like, shit, it's a tie. Nobody loses this combat. We're going to sit there for a turn. Over here, close combat. What the fuck? He charges, he got a flank, and he does 2 wounds onto this Chicken Rock. Chicken Rock goes back, only does 1 wound back. I actually lose this combat. I repeat, I lose this combat, which was understandable. I'm stubborn on the general's leadership, but the BSB's on the other side. I freaking roll a 10. The Space Rock runs off the table. He chases, and he slams right into the flank of my chariots. Ugh! You know what, though? That evens out. That evens things out for his Shaman running off the table turn 1. And, yeah, it's going to start off turn 2. Orcs and Goblins. Turn 2, Orcs and Goblins. Well, luckily, Crom had some backup, and Crom's Iron Boys are going to go over here and protect Crom again. This is the second time they've done this in Buckeyes. They're just like, hey, we see you, Crom. We're going to get you out of this. I turn the common goblins around. I turn the forest goblins around. I turn Zod over onto the side like this because I'm like, whatever. I move my Pyromancer out of the unit and far enough where he can't get charged by anything. He can be shot, but he's going to be very hard to shoot. But, he's in a good spot, I think. The only thing I'm worried about is miscast, really. Over here, as you can see, like this side, I think I charged Koopa. I don't remember if I got Koopa in this turn or I just moved Koopa up, but yeah, look at that gap between the common goblins and his chariots. I think I have a good gap. My Wolf Riders rallied. I put them right here, which was kind of a mistake for the time being, but I was kind of just thinking that I'll hold them up for a turn for when I want to charge him. And then, like I said, I moved Koopa up this way. Purple dice gave me 6 power dice. Go ahead and I do a Scorching Salvo. I fail it by 1. I go ahead and I do a Flaming Swords, and I just fail it miserably. Shooting Phase. You know what? These guys throwing tomahawks at me. I'm going to throw tomahawks right back. I got more tomahawks than you, motherfucker. I end up killing off 4 of his guys. Over here, close combat. I end up killing off 2 of his guys here. Nobody panics. They're going to stick there for a round. Over here, I'm going to release the Cownado. Now, I do this on purpose because I'm trying to get my chariots free of his chariots. So I throw it through my chariots. I end up doing like a wound or 2 to my chariots. I end up doing 2 wounds onto his. It's still alive, though, unfortunately. I'm going to shoot these shots into some beast herds up there, or wild horns up there, kill 2 of the wild horns, and then over here, close combat, I go extra hand weapons, and then I have Crom give these guys devastating, or +1 to wound. So I'm wounding them on 4s, and I have a shit ton of attacks. At initiative 3, he's gonna go at initiative 3 back. He just kills off like 5 of my guys here. I go back and I do like 7 wounds, and he's like, what? And we actually had a small break here because he was wondering if he could heal his wound by the time he dies, so he still has 1 wound left. And then we ended up asking Once Bitten, and Once Bitten's like, no dude, he's dead. Dead is dead. So he's a goner. The gargoyles don't care. And basically I reform. I try to reform skinny enough so I don't get charged by those chariots coming up over there, and I turn Crom this way, which I'll show you in a second. Anyways, the other fight, impact hits, just boom, just destroys my chariots. I mean, granted, I hurt my own chariots with the fanatics, but I failed to do that last wound, and my chariots are just out of commission, and that single chariot has fucked up my life. He's going to overrun right into Crom, and Crom's just like, I don't give a fuck. Over here, that's kind of how it looks, right? I think that's it. It's going to start off Bob's Herds, turn 2, 3. He's going to charge these guys into my Black Orcs. I try to make them skinnier so it's harder to charge. It was a bad choice. He's going to get in anyways. Over here, he didn't overrun into Crom. He's going to do it now. He's going to charge into Crom. Crom don't care. Then he's going to charge these guys into a long charge. I think he needs like an 11 or 12 into my common goblins. He fails that charge. Think Gork. Alright. He's going to charge into Koopa. Koopa doesn't care. He charges these guys into my goblins here, and I'm like, tomahawks! And I start throwing the tomahawks at him, and I kill 4 more. And I was like, you can't fuck with me, man. I got tomahawks. And he's like, holy shit. And then he charges these guys into the dogs, and all of a sudden I had that thought, like, wait a second. I can flee, which I do, obviously. You can see if the dogs are gone. And I'm like, then he has to redirect on a 7. Leadership 7, which is failable. So he goes to attempt the redirect. He fails the redirect, and he stumbles right in front of my goblins. He charges these 2 guys downhill into my cave goblins. My cave goblins shoot, kill off 2 on the left side. The right, I do this on purpose because he charges with the guys on the right first. I don't stand and shoot. He charges the guys with the left, or the higher ones, and I stand and shoot because if they got in, I don't want them having that extra rank. I want to be able to hold steadfast as long as possibly can, so I get rid of the ones that have that second rank, kill off 2. That's cool. So these guys get in, of course. Alright? Everybody failed on the common goblins, which is just awesome. He fails with the guys that are on the hill, but the other one gets in, so only 2 get in, and then the other one get into my forest goblins, which is unavoidable. And that's basically how the table looks. It is a very interesting picture. Magic phase, he got 8 power dice. He goes ahead and tries to do some totems. I stop them all, except for this one right here. He got the black wing totem up on these guys. He got the clouded eye totem on these guys, and then close combat. These guys just get hit by impact hits and just ran to shit. They're dead. He's going to overrun right into Crom. Fucking Crom has to hold, right? So let's do the Crom fight. Crom's just like, you know what? I'm sick of that motherfucker who killed my buddy the Chicken Rock, killed my freaking K-Pack. I'm just going to punch his ass and boom! I just knock his ass out. I'm like, I'm sick of your shit, man. Anyways, the other guys failed to wound Crom, but you know what? Crom is steadfast on his monster rank. So Crom sticks there, turns around. Not only does he punch those guys, the chariot though, it causes a panic check on the guys on the hill. Those guys run like, oh shit, did you see that? Crom just beat the shit out of Charlie. And they started running. And they're going to run off the damn table. Oh man, over here, close combat, he ends up killing 4 of my cave goblins. Now my cave goblins have +1 wound because of Crom. So I go ahead and I swing back a shit ton of attacks, and I just wipe out all the freaking horde. Holy crap, I kill every beast, wild horn there was in that unit. And I was just like, wow, I love you, Crom. Crom's just like, look at him, his fatness. I think I failed the redirect though, the change. Anyways. Over here, close combat, he ends up killing off 2 of my guys. I end up killing off his. He has a charge, 2 wounds. I have 1 wound, 1 banner. And he's like, I win. And I'm like, I'm stubborn in a forest. Bah! Roll it. And he's like, shh. shit. Look at those goblins. Anyways, it's going to start off Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Oh, we forgot the Koopa fight up there. We'll get back to Orcs and Goblins turn 3. The Koopa fight up there, Koopa ends up killing 3 of them. He ends up basically running, and Koopa chases him off the table. So I got a scoring unit. Bam! Now we're going to do Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Woo! I thought about this one. I'm like, shit, these guys are about to get pincered between chariots and these wild horns. I'm going to charge the wild horns. Be proactive and kill somebody, right? So they're going to charge the wild horns. Zod's going to charge this guy just to free up my forest goblins because I need them. And then over here, these guys were running. These were the ones that failed the terror check, or the panic check when Crom killed somebody. So I'm like, you know what? They're just at that 16. They're just at that minimum range for my cave goblins to charge. So I'm going to charge them off the table. They're going to flee, and I'm going to be able to not redirect and just kind of waste a turn of shooting my cave goblins. But I think it's well worth it to get rid of all his units. Just give him less units to work with. The Cownado starts coming this way, the other guy goes that way, and basically that's how the table looks. It's just kind of like that right now. Magic, I got 9 power dice, and I go ahead and I do a Scorching Salvo again. He stops it. I go ahead and I do Deceptive Glamour. He stops it, or I fail it. And then Close Combat, boom! That was just that was the most pathetic charge ever. It was just Zod killing one Beastman. One. It's like the most overpowered overkill possible, I think. Over here, Close Combat, I just wipe out his guys. I have the Shady gets going, I got the BSB going, and I just kill out all the wild horns, and I decide I'm gonna run off the table. I'm gonna I'm gonna overrun off the table, and it gives him nothing to charge on this side. Alright, over here, Close Combat. I end up putting on 3 wounds on this guy. Now he ends up doing like a wound or 2 to Zod, or Crom. I keep calling him Zod. Crom. Crom's still steadfast. Crom still stakes. He turns around to face this way, and that's how it looks. And it's going to go ahead and start off his turn. Turn 4, Bob's Herds. Bob Herds, turn 4. He's going to charge into... He charges the gargoyles into Zod, which I'm like, well, Zod has to hold, right? But what he does slick, he does this very slick, is he charges his chariots into my forest goblins, which wasn't that far. Probably needs like a 9 on 3 dice, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take one for the team. If I flee, I'll flee off the table. Zod doesn't care. He'll get the gargoyles into Zod, but Zod will just rip up some gargoyles. But his chariots will be stuck in for a round because he needs boxcars to get into Zod. So I'm like, you know what? I'll flee. I'll sacrifice my forest goblins. Now Baxter left the unit a while ago. Baxter's hiding behind the gargoyles out of line of sight of everybody. So Baxter's cool. I'm gonna just sacrifice my forest goblins. Why not, right? So I flee off the table. He redirects into Zod, right? And he fucking rolls boxcars. Boom! Right in. I'm like, motherfucker. Now this is his general on that giant dog. That's his general. Then he has 2, I think maybe raiding chariots or Pumbaa chariots. I don't know. Anyways, Magic Face, he gets boxcars anyways. He goes ahead and he does the bloody horn totem. Can't stop it. Close Combat over here. Crom just kills that guy. And it's down to the BSB and Crom. But you know what? He gets that last wound off. Ah, poor Crom. Crom was fucking beasting it up. He killed 2 chariots. Let the forest goblins kill somebody that killed a Goretak. Crom was just, he was on a murderous rampage until the BSB put him in his place. Such a sad day. Now it's gonna be my turn next. I don't think he cared to like face towards Baxter, but I don't think it really mattered, to be honest, if he faced it. But over here, Close Combat, he decides not to challenge. He's like, I'm gonna hit you with all my impact hits and everybody to attack. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm going extra hand weapons. I'm gonna attack some gargoyles. Gonna kill 2 gargoyles. And he's like, shit. I whiffed. I mean, I just straight up whiffed. But if I got more attacks, then I probably could have won combat res. He goes in and he does all his attacks. He ends up getting 1 wound that goes through Zod's armor, ward save, and the reroll from the Bluffer's Helm. He has a charge and a wound. I have 2 wounds. It's a push. Zod doesn't care. Zod's going to stick there. And it's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 4. As you can see, my common Goblins come back on the table. Unfortunately, he used his mongrels so that way where I was supposed to come up, I have to come up to the next available spot, which is right there, which is a very shitty spot for me. I couldn't really come up anywhere else because he's chaffing me up with the mongrels. Alright, as you can see, Koopa's coming around, just coming up for the rear, and Baxter's staying out of line of sight of everybody. Magic Phase, I got 6 power dice, didn't use a purple one for some reason, and I go ahead and I do a Scorching Salvo. Boom! Just kill off a couple of these guys. I'm hoping they panic off the damn table, but we're going to go ahead and use the Skull Splitter. Skull Splitter, kill off a couple more. Then my freaking common Goblins are going to shoot, and they end up killing off a couple more. There's still 2 left. Didn't kill them all. God damn it. They're going to be in my way. Over here, Close Combat, he challenges. He figures out his flaw in his in his strategy here, and he challenges with his general. I have to accept, and we basically whiff. Nobody hurts anybody. I might have done a wound, he might have done a wound, but it was a total push. We didn't go anywhere. It's going to start off Beast Herd's turn 5. Beast Herd's turn 5. He's going to charge his BSB into my common Cave Goblins. Can't do anything about it. I'm just going to get hit by this guy. Magic Phase, he got 7 power dice. Goes ahead and gives up these guys the Bloody Horn Totem again. And then that's about it. We're going to go straight into combat. Combat, he kills 4 more of these guys. As you can see, I dropped my... I don't know if he killed my wizard or I moved my wizard out of the unit right beforehand. It looks like I moved him out of the unit, though. Maybe I didn't. Maybe he did kill my wizard. I'll find out in a later picture. Nope, he's still alive. He's still alive. Anyways, so I'm steadfast. He killed a ton, but I'm going to just be steadfast. So I stick there. I reform into rank so that way I can hold steadfast longer. His BSB is going to consistently win combat, but I'm just going to try to hold off as long as I can. Over here, Close Combat. He ends up doing 1 wound onto Zod. I lose combat. No. I think I do 1 or 2 wounds back to him. I might have done 1 wound back to him, but we're still going to stick there. I think I passed the leadership check at this time. I had a leadership 8 check, and I pass it. And it's going to go and start off turn 5. Turn 5, Orcs and Goblins. Whew. Alright. Charge common Goblins into those mongrels. I charge Koopa! Koopa's coming back into the rear of those random-ass chariots. I'm like, I'm not scared of no fucking chariots. I can handle this shit. So Koopa charges in and boom! Gets in! Koopa, you're gonna be a hero again with these fucking rear charges. I love you, Koopa. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it, buddy. You're gonna do it. Anyways, I move Baxter and the Prophet basically away from the panic check that's about to happen on the right side. Like, get away from him. Get away from him. Don't let him charge you. And then basically, yeah, that's kind of how the table looks. Magic Phase got 9 power dice. Go ahead and I do the wheel turns and flaming swords on these guys. Now, granted, I could have done these onto Crom, and I could have done Zod, and I could have done this onto Koopa, but the wheel turns doesn't do anything for those characters, and flaming swords would help. It's kind of a hindsight thing. I was like, well, if I'm going to do them both, I'm going to do them both onto this unit and basically hope that they could actually start putting wounds on. Anyways, over here, Close Combat, I kill off the 2 mongrels. Over here, Close Combat. I mean, you can see the fucking picture already. I mean, I just couldn't... And maybe I'll pull up another picture so that way you don't know what happens yet. So anyways, so I go ahead and I swing with Koopa. I put on 1 wound onto his regular chariots. He goes ahead and he swings back with these guys who are strength 3. Alright? Strength 3. And if anybody at all knows what Koopa's 2 weaknesses are, what Koopa's kryptonite is, it's strength 3 and leadership checks. So he frickin' does a bunch of hits strength 3 with frickin' pigs. Alright? Gets a couple wounds drew. I roll 2 1s, followed by 2 1s, and Koopa fucking dies to some random strength 3 shit. Are you fucking kidding me, Koopa? He would have lived if I didn't take that 1 hit earlier from a damn tomahawk. God damn it, Koopa. God damn it, Koopa. You fat bastard. You were supposed to save the day. You actually gave them combat res because you only did 1 wound. Peggy did the wound to top it off. It wasn't even Koopa. Peggy did the wound. Koopa whiffed. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. God. I had a charge, a rear, and a wound. If he would have just did one wound, I would have been up 3 combat res. Well, luckily Zod did a wound or 2 to his general. His general fails to wound Zod. I think he wins combat. He did 2 wounds. No, it was a push. It was a push because I did 2 wounds. He did 2 wounds. And he might have done 1 more wound, but I still stick. My BSB's right there. General Zod's right there. And yeah, I'm going to stick there for another round. Over your close combat, he kills more of my cave goblins, but I'm going to stick there because I'm still steadfast, and it's going to start off his turn. Beast turns turn 6. Beast turns turn 6. Magic Phase, he gets 10 power dice, and he has the movement because everybody's in combat. Goes ahead and he does something. I don't even know. Nothing really happens. It doesn't look like anything happens. Over here, it kills more of these guys. I think right now we're just trying to hurry up because we're trying to finish the round. It's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins, turn 6. Yeah, nothing happened with the characters. Nothing happened. Turn 6. My Cave Goblin, or Common Goblin, excuse me. Bazooka and the Horde. Bazooka and the Horde are going to charge that flank. Whew. Bazooka and the Horde have to be the heroes because Koopa was a failure. Fucking fat fuck. So, Bazooka and the Horde charging the flank. Big flank, all that shit, right? I get in. Magic Phase, I got 2 power dice. Magic Phase didn't fucking matter. I think I gave him -1 to hit with Deceptive Glamour. Close combat. Shady gets go nuts. Kill off one of the chariots. My goblins go do a couple wounds. He does a couple wounds. Does 1 more wound onto Zod. Zod does 1 more wound onto his general. I win combat big. I have a charge, a flank, a big flank, 3 banners, 3 ranks. I got, looks like 5 wounds, which puts me at 14, 15 with Zod's wound, versus his 1 wound to Zod. They auto break. Unfortunately, his gargoyles are still stubborn in the forest. His gargoyles stick. His general runs. Alright. Fucking Bazooka and the Horde did it, breaks the unit, he runs away, and basically that's how it looks. As you can see, his BSB ended up killing my Cave Goblins. My Common Goblins chased but couldn't catch him, and that was the end of turn 6. He didn't run that far either, but it was just the fact that I didn't have that Swift Stride roll. If I had that Swift Stride roll, he would have potentially caught him. He does take DTs going through the Prophet, but it didn't matter. Nobody died from that. And it's going to be a big Orc and Goblin victory. I got 15 points. I'm doing really good. Game 1, or day 1, excuse me, day 1, I got a total of 50 points. 50, which is actually pretty respectable. Bob was a great opponent. This was a fun game. It was one of my funner games at Buckeyes. Like I said, Bob was a great opponent. He actually did, like I said, he got 8th place overall. And it was just a very interesting match. I think that Orcs and Goblins specifically, have good counters to the ambushing armies. With Fanatics, with the Tomahawks, with the turning around, just shooting them. I'm not too worried about it. But being pincered in on both sides, that could be really dangerous, and that could really mess up my day. But I think I did it smart, and I think I did it well. And it's a big Orc and Goblin victory. Here's a side picture of my brother's Stratapult on the right and Len's Stegodon on the left. And as you can see, there's a size difference. One's supposed to be a T4 Chariot, and the other one's supposed to be a T6 Stubborn Monster. Can you guess which one's which? They were standing right next to me. I was on table 5, and they were on table 6. It was pretty funny. Actually, no, they weren't. This is actually for the next game. Anyways, if you guys want a little spoiler, here's my next opponent, Mark from Green Dragon Gaming. And as you can see, there's a bunch of people in the background, including Mr. James Valdez. Alright, let's go over what my army's gone. You guys got going for them. As you can see, the points are rolling up right now. In this game specifically, there's 3 people I want to give MVP to. There's 3 people who I want to give MVP to. One is King Koopa, even though he died. If he didn't die, he could have easily been my MVP. Took care of the Shaman, took care of the scoring unit. As you can tell, I still have 1 scoring unit left. He has none. So I win the objective there. So And then Koopa ended up killing basically 900 points, which I think is the most points, no, almost the most points out of everybody here. Second, honestly, could have easily been Zod, because Zod just didn't run. Zod held there like a champ and actually fought all the shit that he needed to fight. And he fought it out. He grinded it out. And Zod is very impressive for what he does. Baxter didn't do shit this round. He only got 60 points. The Bushwhackers actually did really good. They got 252 points, which is just great. I think they're a good utility unit. Bazooka and the Horde is the other potential MVP, and I honestly think they are the MVP. I mean, they killed one of the scoring units, they killed a Gore Attack, and they ended up throwing his general and that whole unit off the table. Or made them panic and run after charging. They basically killed some mongrels. They are a force to be reckoned with. And not only that, but they're in the lead with the most points total. And right now, this is game 3 of Buckeyes. In all 3 games, they held the general in the first round. They killed 2 lords in the second round. And then in this round, they ended up making the general panic. So right now, Bazooka and the Horde is the reason why I'm killing everybody's generals. That's nuts. The Cave Goblins, they're underperforming right now, but you know what? That's fine because I'm using them more of as a bunker. The K-Pack got 0 points this round, which is just sad, but that was because I got flanked, including the Chicken Rock. Chicken Rock only got 33 points, which is just sad because this Chicken Rock should have been racking up points this whole game. Crom is the 3rd MVP. So I'm giving it to the common goblins, but Crom, holy shit, killed the Gore Attack, helped the Iron Boys finish it off, helped the Cave Goblins finish off a unit of ambushers, killed 2 chariots, and held the center for a long time. Crom definitely deserves a shout out. Bazooka and the Horde getting the MVP though. The Raiders are getting another shout out too because they helped push that Soothsayer off the table, and then the Iron Boys helped kill that Gore-Tech. So everybody kind of had a role to play. It was a big win, and I gotta say, Bob gave me a hell of a game. Again, he got 8th place. He also won Best Beast Herd Army, so he ended up every other opponent. I want to say every other opponent he tabled basically. Let's see, except for me. I'm going to tell you in a second. Yeah, he got basic close. He got 20 points off of Matt Price. He got 16 points off of Stephen Huntsman. He got 20 points off of Tom Baker. Then he got 13 points off of Luke Hales. So yeah, Bob was he went 4-1, and I was the one that crushed his day. Sorry, Bob, but I gotta give him a lot of credit. It was a good game, and I can't wait to put up the next 2 battle reports as well. Guys, hope me a speedy recovery with my tooth surgery going on. But besides that, guys, I'm going to try to pump this video out and the next videos as fast as I can before I get my teeth done. Alright, guys, hope you enjoyed this. If you guys haven't hit like and subscribe, hit like and subscribe. And guys, if you guys have anything you're willing to donate to my channel, that would be huge. It would be honestly a huge favor, because I am going to go broke going to Salamanca. It's going to cost me a lot of money out of pocket, and not only that, but I'm missing 2 weeks of work, which costs me a lot of money out of pocket. So anything really helps. $1 to $2 to $5, anything. But guys, go to my Patreon, sign up there, and show your support. Other than that, I think I've gone through everything, and I'll just see you next time. Take care and peace.